What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Michael Chandler gives updated thoughts on possible Conor McGregor clash at UFC White House. UFC veteran Michael Chandler has given his thoughts on a possible showdown with Conor McGregor at UFC White House. As we know, Michael Chandler has been involved in some incredible fights throughout the course of his mixed martial arts career. Whether he wins or loses, he always goes out there and puts it all on the line. And as a reward for that, many have suggested that he should be given the Conor McGregor fight that he's been rumored to get for a few years now. Alas, whether it be due to injury or scheduling, McGregor versus Chandler has yet to take place. We have some history. I'm the opponent that he wants. He's the opponent that I want. I've got plenty left in the tank, and obviously there are some big fights coming up next year that I'd love to participate in. Khalil Rountree reflects on loss to Jiri Prochazka in post-fight statement. Rountree was putting on quite the striking performance before the unpredictable Prochazka caught up to him late in the fight. Despite how things turned out, Rountree is keeping his head up like Ankalaev after the loss. Close. So close. I'm okay, I'm in good spirits. I'm grateful for every positive message and every comment expressing support for what I give to this sport. To say I'll be back is an understatement. Never stop living. Never stop fighting the good fight. For yourself, for your families, for humanity till the end. Losses hurt. Not only me. Coaches, family, friends, and supporters. You guys are incredible. I'm here for a while. You will all see me in there again next year. This loss isn't easy. It'll take time to heal and learn from this, but I promise you when I say that, I'll never be the same again. See you in 2026. Dana White shuts down Conor McGregor's bold claims about UFC White House. Dana White recently gave his thoughts in response to Conor McGregor's remarks about his potential appearance of the UFC White House card. McGregor was one of the many MMA fighters who expressed his desire to compete at UFC White House. In a recent interview with Fox News, McGregor stated that he has officially inked his combat sports return at the UFC White House and is ready to put on a show in front of an American audience. However, White refuted McGregor's claims. During the UFC 320 post-fight news conference on Saturday, the promotion's CEO stated that negotiations with fighters will begin next year, since he is now busy arranging the historic event. We are still talking about the production and how everything is going to work at the White House. We have not started negotiating any fights for the White House yet. That won't start until February. Conor wants to fight on that card, and you can clearly see Conor is very fired up to fight on that card. But nothing is done yet, and no fights are being negotiated with the White House. There hasn't been any official announcement regarding the matchups for UFC White House, but White is confident about McGregor's return. Conor is the guy who fought injured. He doesn't care. He literally will fight anybody. He and I have been talking nonstop, and he's like, I'm dead serious. I want this. I'm training. I'm back in the pool. We'll see. We still got a long way to go. Ilia Topuria lauds Merab Dvalishvili as living legend following UFC 320 title defense. After Merab Dvalishvili's commanding unanimous decision victory over Corey Sandhagen at UFC 320, Ilia Topuria took to social media to celebrate his close friend and fellow Georgian. The reigning UFC lightweight champion showered the machine with praise, calling him a living legend whose dominance in the octagon makes his victories seem effortless. Brother, we've reached the point where your victories seem almost normal, but we all know how hard it is to get there. I say it with pride. You're a living legend, an example of hard work, sacrifice, and heart. Beyond the fighter, you're an incredible person with a soul too big for your chest. We love you, we support you, and we're with you every step of the way. With the victory, Merab Dvalishvili stretched his remarkable win streak to 14 fights. Dana White drops blunt message on Alex Pereira's heavyweight plans post-UFC 320. Alex Pereira defeated Magomed Ankalaev in his rematch at UFC 320 to become a two-time light heavyweight champion. In the aftermath, Pereira expressed his interest in a potential move up to the heavyweight division. However, UFC head honcho Dana White appears to have different plans. Pereira has long expressed his desire to become a three-weight champion and potentially fight John Jones for the heavyweight title. During the post-fight press conference, Alex made it clear that he intends to move up in weight. However, White was not completely sold out on the idea, as he believes that Pereira still has great matchups available in the 205-pound division. Probably that he was a middleweight, and he's going to jump up 2 weight classes in the UFC. It's not like jumping up 2 weight classes in boxing. It's a big jump, and it's not that I have any reservations about him. I mean, the guy is in a division where there are still interesting fights. I don't know. And I like the guy so much, we'll see. We'll have to talk about it. Unless he wants to retire, I just don't see why throwing him in at heavyweight makes any sense, other than I just end up saying, he wants to do it so bad, I'll just say yes. I don't know. Conor McGregor makes stunning admission about superstardom. Conor McGregor admits fame greatly affected his fighting career. McGregor hasn't competed since July 2021 and hasn't won a fight since January 2020, yet he remains the biggest star in MMA today. Following BKFC 82, the first sanctioned bare-knuckle event in New Jersey, McGregor was asked if he finds the same thrill in promoting that he did as a superstar fighter at the top of the game. Yes, I've just come on as a promoter and owner of the bare knuckle for how long? A year or so? But I'm doing it a long time. I came up through the school of the Fertitta Empire, and with Dana White at the helm, and I was the protege. I tell you this, and this is why we must really put our maximum respect and support behind our combatants in here, because to fight as well as promote is the real deal. To promote on its own is easy, and also, coincidentally, to fight on its own is easy. People don't really realize that. The Irishman's rise in the UFC was unlike anyone before him, as he made a speed run through the ranks to capture interim gold in his 6th UFC bout. You know, you get these fighters. They come up, and no one cares about you. You rock in under the radar. No one asks you a question. You get to show up and have fun and do your thing, and there's no stress or outside world, and it's perfect. Then when you rise, you've got to add this promotional animal to it, and both of them combined is incredibly draining. I wouldn't be the first to tell you. It almost broke me. To be honest, maybe it did break me as I went on and achieved massive success and global, otherworldly superstardom. It overcame me at times. It was one of the most honest and introspective thoughts McGregor offered in a long time, as lately, he has put on his fiery promoter hat when on the mic with BKFC. Having dealt with everything firsthand as a fighter and a superstar, which includes heavy self-promotion, McGregor knows what it takes to navigate it all. That's why he commands respect for BKFC fighters, as he and promotion president David Feldman seek to guide the growth of bare-knuckle boxing. To promote and fight at a high level deserves support and respect, and that is what I'm here for, to ensure that is what happens. To promote on its own, it's absolutely amazing. I put on a nice suit, I put on a nice watch, that's what I love to do. But don't get me wrong, I miss the fight game and I'm excited about what's ahead. I know Dave wants me in the bare knuckle. UFC are concocting a new contract deal or whatever's gonna happen. I don't know, we'll see. We'll take it day by day, but God is great and I thank him every day. Khamzat Chimaev doubles down on wanting to fight Alex Pereira. Khamzat Chimaev has reignited his long-running pursuit of a potential fight against Alex Pereira. The UFC middleweight king doubled down with a heavyweight challenge to create the idea of one of the sport's biggest cross-divisional fights. I'm ready to fight you in the heavyweight. You won't find a super fight than our fight. No, Chama, this is smash everybody. The rivalry between Chimaev and Pereira has simmered for years, built on social media exchanges, stylistic contrasts, and the allure of a super fight between two explosive fighters. Chimaev has long viewed Pereira as the perfect striker to test his wrestling dominance against. Meanwhile, Pereira's rise through 2 divisions has made him one of the sport's most sought-after opponents. Chimaev continues to insist that his pressure-heavy approach would neutralize Pereira's knockout power.